Alright folks, welcome to another Premodern video. This one is going straight to the deck because it is time for Dr. Teeth to make an appearance. I have not played this deck in a very long time, and for a while I've been thinking about, I really like the idea of having a Tide deck, like blue control Tide deck with Duress. I feel like Duress is absolutely spectacular in this context, just being able to not only answer the creatures that can be problematic with removal spells such as Smother and Engineered Plague, which mono blue decks actually tend to struggle with, but also by using Duress in order to clear the way. It's much easier to get into a counter fight with when you're leading with turn 1 Duress than it is to attempt to to win a counter war where every counter spell costs usually 2 mana or 1 if you're using Force Spike. But yeah, so this is like half Tide deck and half Tog deck, if that makes sense. Psychatog. So what I tried to do was sort of get in between of what makes the mono blue Tide deck tick and what makes the Tog deck tick. So what fuels Psychatog is Gush, accompanied with some number of cantrips, and then obviously some like islands, like rather low land count for a control deck. Here we're playing 23, which is like in the middle between the 26 that mono blue decks play, and usually Psychatog decks tend to play something like 20. And we're hoping to fix our mana thanks to Portent, which means that I'm not trying to do rest on turn 1, I'm trying to do rest on turn like 5 or 6 or something like that, as a way to force through whichever spell I'm trying to force through. So that's the idea that I'm starting with. And yeah, we'll see how it works out. The notable things are that I'm playing Accumulated Knowledge alongside Fact or Fiction and Gush. I feel like all of these cards work very, very well with the control axis. But I'm also playing Portent mostly because of the curve. So I'm not really playing like Impulse or something like that. Force Spike is also an interesting one. I'm usually not a big fan of discarding counter decks, but I'm a big fan of it in Parallax Tide decks because that's gonna mean that even on turn 6-7, after you tide your opponent's lands away, then Force Spikes actually become like good again. So we're also playing some number of Mishra's Factories again. I am taking this from the Tide deck, and I'm trying to apply, and we'll see, to apply the concept, but we'll see how it actually ends up working out in practice. So I've never played this deck before, but now that we have MTGO leaks, that it's so much easier to try out stuff and throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. So very excited to try this out. I've been thinking about this deck for quite a bit, so get ready and let's play some matches of Premodern. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit a like and subscribe. Here we go for the first round. This hand looks okay to me. Let's keep it. It's definitely a tricky one because I don't know whether I should go turn 1 Duress. I think I'm gonna go turn 1 Duress. If I need to foil something, I can like get it later. Or we're definitely taking this survival, right? This Cobalt Therapy is most likely whiffing, I imagine. Okay, so my opponent's just probably playing Black-Green Survival here. Gonna play the Delta so that we can go ahead and stifle. And we're holding the island in case we want to foil something. I doubt we're gonna want to, but there's the Therapy. Blind Therapy, but having played the Delta, they're probably gonna name something like Counterspell, which obviously sucks for me. Named Psychatog. Okay, that's good for me. And flashback the Adverse Paradise here. I'm not gonna foil. That worked out. So now we pass the turn. So now they're gonna be able to like play Octavi and flashback Therapy. Wall of Roots. I think that's fine. This means they can now flashback Therapy, but like it's okay. Just counterspell that. So this now counters the Therapy and also counters the Wall of Roots effectively. So counterspell here. If we need to foil something here, but I'm not even sure we would need to foil. Hypnotic Spectre. I guess that's one we would need to foil. Can I afford to play this game? Let this resolve. Next turn, tithe my opponent. I mean, we know my opponent's hand is Octavi and City of Brass. We have perfect information, so I think that means I'm gonna foil. I'm gonna pitch Island Stifle. Untap. Now this is interesting, because what I can do is I can just play Tithe and do nothing to protect it from discard, which I think I'm going to do. I don't really care about my opponent's board, really. There's the City of Brass, and this also means that now Chain of Vapor is a good draw, which otherwise it wouldn't be. That's a good draw. That's a good draw for my opponent. So now I'm gonna let this go, and we drew the Stifle. Okay, so we're just going to take all of the lands now, so my opponent can't pay the Echo. But it was more likely for me to draw Chain rather than second Stifle, so I think it was right to do this. So they have a clock though. They do have a clock here. I need to draw my Tog quickly. So Stifle, the return trigger, play my land, say go. I'm gonna take 4 here down to 11. The squirrels get in there. Portent myself. That's a Tog, and that's a Chain of Vapor too. Okay, so I guess I'm going to go top island, top Tog, top Chain of Vapor. I guess I don't shuffle. And I guess I'm gonna spend this turn to Chain of Vapor one of the squirrels, meaning I take only 3 down to 8. So chain one of these squirrels. This does not feel good. Then we top deck Tog. Then we top deck an island, which is very awkward. Maybe I should have just shuffled when I need to find the other card, just the card advantage spell. So Tog now makes things a little bit awkward for my opponent. And I think it's interesting that they didn't play the Octavi there to speed up the clock. And I think that's because they're respecting that I'm playing actually a Dreadnought deck here. But now these squirrels are not looking too good in front of the Tog boy. But we need to dodge one more draw step here. I'm gonna hold on to the island just to represent that we have something. Right, my opponent's not drawing stuff, which is very good for me. It's a polluted delta. I think I continue not playing my lands. Just hang out here. We don't have lethal, so I can't really start attacking yet. There's the duress, and now the jig is up, of course. So now I'm obviously going to start playing my lands. I guess it's not really an obviously scenario here. Oh, they found the survival. Okay. This is going to get out of hand very quickly. So now I can attack to... Yeah, we're not doing well here. If I attack... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Yeah, nowhere close to lethal. So we're just going to just chill. Play my island, pass the turn. Can't really do too much, unfortunately. Maybe I was supposed to just main phase the... Oh, Wretch. That's a problematic card. There's the Wretch. And we untap. We need a Gush. We need something strong. Hey, look at that. What to do? I think I swing? I think I swing. My opponent's gonna block. And then I can Gush second main phase, because I can find another Psychatog. So we're gonna Gush here. Hey. Called shots. Shots are being called. Now they're gonna go for Squee. But now these Togs are actually threatening to do some damage. Tempting Worm. There's a Swamp. There's a Tempting Worm. I guess we're just gonna let that one resolve. I'd rather hold on to the cards to threaten to do stuff. So I swing with both. What happens? Yeah, that one's not good right now. My opponent just chomps with both squirrels. I guess they can just chomp with one of the birds, which actually leaves me in a situation where I'm facing lethal. Okay, so they're just making my Tog smaller. I think this game is going to take a little bit longer, but I think I'm just going to concede here to make sure that I have enough for games 2 and 3. So let's go with Smother, Parallax Infernus. Don't think I want Duresses. Do I want Plagues? Plagues are kind of awkward. I guess a null. Maybe 2 Plagues. I'm not excited about a null, by the way. I don't think it's particularly great here. Okay, sounds fine. Force Spike sounds pretty medium, but I'm on the play, so obviously a lot more exciting there. I guess I can cut maybe Stifle and Manly. No, I think Manly's okay. Let's cut the foil. So we're on the play. Does hand do anything? I don't think so, but am I keeping it anyway? I think I am. And on the 60-61 card special over there, one and Dust Mulligan. You're gonna pass the turn. Turn 1 bird. I think we're just gonna get Powder Keg here into play. Cabal Therapy would be absolutely devastating here. Hypnotic Spectre. Okay. So we're just going to, I guess, bounce. Yeah, this is not looking good. It's not looking good at all. I'm gonna pop this to kill the bird. I'm just gonna hope my opponent doesn't have another swamp, but this is not good. Like missing the land drop there is potentially game losing. So there's the chain. They don't have another swamp. Alright. You're saying there's a chance. Wall of Roots. Please don't have survival. Opponent has survival. Okay. Right on time. Right on time. Okay, I don't think we can win anymore. I think my opponent has too much going on. And I'm missing land drops. And I don't know when my daughter's gonna wake up from her nap. So I think I'm just gonna concede to move on to the next game to make sure I can actually finish recording. See you for the next round. So here we are for round number 2. No lander, so easy mulligan. This one I like. I think I'm going to bottom the counterspell. Though if we find an island, then counterspell is pretty nice. I think I'm gonna bottom the factory. 1 and most to 5 basic island. Send the turn back. It's a nice pickup. Basically any land is a nice pickup. Another basic island. And they pass the turn. Untap. Another AK. So this is gonna be very interesting. This is gonna be an AK battle. Because if it does come down to an AK battle, then I don't want to be the first one to blink. Impulse. Resolves. Maybe I should have fetched right there. Make sure I get my island. Dreadnought. Okay. So I'm a little bit limited on mana. So I'm going to counterspell here to, I guess, play around this. And then we're gonna see whether my opponent is interested in countering my other keg. Oh, I just resolved. I just YOLO'd. That's very good for me. Yeah, that worked out very well for the good guys. I'm going to resolve this powder keg. Just have it sit here. Very aggressive on my opponent. Untap. I guess I'm gonna say no here, because I may want to kill my opponent's Mishra's Factory depending on how the game goes. That's AK on end step. I guess I have to take advantage. I actually need to draw lands here. That's a Psychatog. Okay, send the turn back. Really want to find land drops, but I am going to do this now. So if my opponent wants to counterspell this, then I can untap and Parallax Tide. Resolved. Cool. We found our other island, which is nice too. Question is, do we go for it right now? I guess I have a second Parallax Tide. I think I'm just going to throw this Tog under the bus, just because these lines have better. It resolved. Okay. So this is nice actually, because now that my opponent's AKs are much worse. 2 mana, main phase gush probably. Not gonna fight over that. We're gonna be doing our own gushing this upcoming turn. Impulse, sure. I like that this powder keg is just chilling here. Portent resolves. Okay, so this is gonna be the tithe turn, I guess. Get rid of my opponent's board. Develop. Just keep pulling ahead. My opponent could have gush, but if they do, then they're like super far behind anyway, so this seems fine. Still wanna keep the keg on no. So let's begin with this. Some little gush action. And then replay my land and play Parallax Tide. Let's ask the question here. Just asking the question. What do you got, opponent? They foil, discarding 2 islands. That is very exciting for me. Now this dog can get in there. Might as well. Get in there for 1. Send the turn back. We're firmly in control of this game. We have not even drawn a duress yet. So now we're going to see this Dreadnought coming up. I'm going to let it resolve. And then I'm going to smother probably on my end step. Again, it doesn't matter. We have the powder keg. So attempt to smother in response. See if my opponent has another enabler. Even if they do, it doesn't matter. I'm going to untap and tithe them again. And then powder keg on their upkeep. So on to game number 2. This is exactly the matchup that we want to see. And I'm going to bring the Infraction Furnace, which is an awkward card to bring in against my opponent. But I legitimately think that it works on the axis that I want to fight, because Furnace actually allows me to fight against my opponent's card advantage. Their card advantage is like Flash of Insight and Accumulated Knowledge, and Furnace gives me control over that. So I think in a control mirror against Dreadnought, Furnace is just a good card. I think I want to cut a Tithe. I want all my annuls. I think I want to cut the Stifles as well. Keep just the chains, because this actually work fairly well as removal from my opponent's Dreadnought. I think Force Spike is fine. I want my cantrips, I want the Duresses. Counterspell, maybe Mana Leak is a little bit medium. Nah, it's fine. I probably want all my card magic. All my card advantage as well. Can probably cut down a Psychatog. Could cut down Smother. We have just Keg. No, I think I'd rather have Smother instead of Keg. I do want to have answers to my opponent if they manage to resolve the Dreadnought. Maybe cut a foil? Maybe 2 Tog is too many, but I want to make sure that I have enough win conditions. Sand looks quite decent. I do like the fact that we get some nice selection with Polluted Delta. Basic Island, Furnace. Even more so of a reason to want an all. It's a Parallax Tide. That is most certainly what that is. Let's find the duress here. Oh yes, exactly that. Perfect. So now we're gonna go okay, top, 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 no shuffle. This is good. This is very good. We're also drawing an island. Do I want to shuffle that away is the question. I think I'm good on lands. Oh, to just YOLO Dreadnought? Okay, I was not expecting that. Wow, that's so aggressive, but it's gonna work out. So I'm going to need... Okay, so we're not gonna be able to play a long game then. So let's play Delta, and I'm going to dress now? Because I need to shuffle. I know that the top of my deck is not an answer to Dreadnought, so let's get a swamp. And I need to dress here, see what my opponent has, and then next turn we need to top deck Smother or Chain of Vapor, Stifle. Okay, so they have no answer. At least there's that. Play out the end and they only have one unknown, so I need to find Chain of Vapor. If I find Chain of Vapor, maybe we're playing here. That's an all. It's not an answer. Okay, we got God. We definitely got God there. And game 3. Still think my configuration is fine. Maybe I want 2 Smothers, since my opponent has shown that they are willing to go very aggressively for Dreadnought. But again, like Chain of Vapor is just fine. It's just a fine way to answer Dreadnought. How many answers to Dreadnought do I want? 4 sounds okay. Maybe over Mana Leak. On the play. Sure. Skip this hand. And I'm going to fetch right now, I think. Play around Stifle. Stifle would destroy my hand. Play land, fetch. Get my island, pass the turn. So this is nice actually. This is a hand that doesn't get owned by Dreadnought. One has their own factory there. And start doing furnace things. It's a little bit annoying with my AK hand, but it's fine. I think I have my own factory. This means that your factory is no good anymore. Do I want to chain this Dreadnought? They suit up? Wow, so aggro. But this tells me that they have more mana, so I'm not gonna indulge. Oh, they just didn't attack. So I guess that was just a mistake. I'll take it. Missing a land up there sucks a lot. Maybe I was supposed to just let my opponent exile my AK there. I'm gonna cycle now. I really need to find land drops. I cannot fall behind on that axis. There's the island. Great. So now I can force the issue. So I threaten to AK here. I don't really care about this. I just want my opponent to crack their furnace. Well, just let me draw. Okay. I'm gonna let that resolve. I think I discard Chain of Vapor. All my other cards look better. Alright, good. So now we're cooking. We have Factor Fiction, we have Gush, Annul, Counterspell, Impulse Resolves. The only thing we don't want to see is like Flash of Insight kind of cards. Not super excited about having discarded Chain there. Chain is actually a pretty valuable card for me. I'm pretty much countering anything here, I think. Dreadnought, easy and all. Super easy and all. Counterspell. Okay. So do I counterspell again? Or do I annul again? I think I counterspell. So now if they counterspell, they don't have mana to use the enabler. So here is actually correct to counter the Dreadnought as opposed to attempting to counter the Stifle. And that worked. Excellent. Brain Freeze for 5. Sure. Still have 30 cards in my graveyard, so feeling like I'm kind of okay here, if I'm being honest. That's an island, so I think I get in there for 2. Send it back. All the Togs are in there. 3 Duresses are gone. That sucks. Definitely wish I had more Duresses. Portent Self. That is fine. Tap. Opponent draws for Portent. Chain of Vapor. Send the turn back. One activates Furnace. And taps. They get to Flash of Insight for 3. Yeah, that sucks. Not super stoked about that. So far we do have more card advantage than my opponent. It's not really a given here. I am going to FOF. If this opponent was to counter this, totally okay. It let it resolve. Interesting. Lands versus spells. Really? Yeah. Gonna keep pile 2, I think. Untap. That's a great draw. Play Furnace. This is something that I can play on the cheap to still hold up all my counter magic. And it's actually that does do something in terms of disrupting my opponent. So now future flashes I'm not as scared of. Sure. Flash for 4. Still all the Togs are in the deck, and eventually I will find the black source. Only one Duress left, so we're gonna have to make it count. Deactivate Furnace, Brain Freeze again. Okay, this one's rough. So I need to gush into Stifle. Man, second Brain Freeze is pretty devastating here. So this is 12 cards. This one may actually get rid of all my win cons. Well, this is just 9, right? This is 9 cards. I think we just let it resolve. I don't think I can gush in response and hope to spike a Stifle. Could counter 1 copy. Sounds fine. Not gonna counter 2. It's 1 Tog, and that's it. Okay. Jesus. Yeah, this one's too much, I think. Okay, so now that forces my hand. I need to find Stifle, and I don't. So I'm now dead. Okay. Triple Brain Freeze. Wow. Yeah, I was not expecting that. Got me good. See you for the next one. Round number 3. This hand does not have lands. This one does. So let's keep this. We're gonna bottom the island, and we're gonna see what we're playing against. Basic Swamp into nothing, huh? Another Basic Swamp into Cabal Therapy. Sure. It's probably gonna name Counterspell, which sucks because we drew exactly that. Phyrexian Dreadnought. Okay, good for us. Send the turn back. We play our land and pass the turn. Have Counterspell up. Our opponent knows this. Rats. We actually have to counter this one, because this represents not only the card that we discard, but also the flashback of the therapy, which is guaranteed to hit. So, okay. So let's duress. There's a chance this duress whiffs, but I don't think it's really getting any better for us. So, target player discards a card. Sure. I'm gonna discard this accumulated knowledge. Take the Dark Ritual. Send the turn back. Good old Dark Ritual. Doing nothing. Yeah, that's a good top deck for them. And now they take the Smother. They get to resolve the Wretch. An Unreal. Oh, they did not take the Smother, they took the Stifle. Why? I am very surprised. Take my AK. Well, here's a Smother. Maybe they drew a Muse, and we can force spike it. Another Wretch. Okay, that sucks for us. Another Chain of Vapor doesn't do anything. We need to find card advantage now. This also is gonna make our Tog worse. Not that much worse, but definitely worse. Because as long as we have a card in hand, the Tog can trade with the Wretch, but Bottomless Pit. Very annoying. We're gonna bounce that. We get to duress it. Nice. I mean, it's not sexy. My opponent just got it 2 for 1 for free, basically, but it's better than having to deal with it again. I don't think my opponent knew about the second Chain of Vapor. Portent. Yes, please. Foil Tide Stifle. That's not good enough. I'm gonna shuffle. We need lands. We need gushes. AK doesn't really do it. This lake has been rough. It's like everything has lined up in the worst possible way. Things have not been working out. Yeah, now I draw the Factory in the face of double Wasteland. Rough. That is rough. Sure. Let's play that out to get it wastelanded. Yep, there that goes. Tap. I mean, if I find another underground river, I may be able to then go ahead and bay up. Never mind. I need to find 2 more underground rivers. Another bottomless pit. Yeah, that sucks. Sucks very much. Okay, I think at this point I'm toast. Okay, because I have that. Do I wanna... Yeah, I'm just going to play this out just to get it wastelanded. And maybe I can making it more likely for me to force spike something. But now I don't have an enabler, so even if I draw a Tide at this point, doesn't really do anything. Just needed to find like gushes and stuff. So I guess there's still a chance that I can get out of this. What I need to do is I need to find gush into Tog. If I find gush into Tog, we may be cooking. Another island. It's gonna be a baby Tog, but as long as I have a card in hand, it's going to be enough to stop this wretch. It's a rat, so I might as well force spike them. And now Tog is no longer good enough. I guess it's no longer good enough for 1 turn, and then it becomes good enough again, so it's fine. Alright, there we go. This is what we needed. Can I find the Psychatog? Please? Parallax Tide. I'm gonna play this out and not use it. My opponent can like get anything they want. I have only used a single Stifle. So yeah, this is not gonna do anything really. I'd rather just like hope to draw a Chain of Vapor here. The rack. That does speed up the clock. But if I find Chain of Vapor, I get to take all of their black sources and then bounce the Withered Wretch. Okay, another gush. We're gush flooded now, and we're dead to the board. Okay, so annuls sound good. So does Smother. Don't think I want duresses. Don't want foil. I think Tide is good. I think this is fine. I want to cut it. I mean, Force Spike is good on the play. I think I want to cut 1 on the draw. I think I'm cutting Mana Leak. Actually, maybe I should be cutting Annul. I'm gonna be on the play here. This hand looks great. Great hand. Kind of does it all. Duress, gonna get Force Spiked. My opponent wants to wasteland my Factory. I could Stifle, which is nice. And my land, set the turn. Second Swamp. Duress. Okay. probably gonna take the Factor Fiction, I imagine. Yep, take the FOF. Makes a lot of sense. So now they therapy naming and all. Okay, so whatever I'm trying to like bottomless pit me, I guess. I'm gonna portent myself. AK. I do like the lands, if I'm being honest, but I think I need to do better than this. So pro tip, if you right click here, it says newly controlled. Make sure you're tapping the one that says newly controlled so it's not summoning sick. Pro tip, MTGO is kind of like that. Chain of Vapor, pretty rough. There's Wasteland. My point is to do this right now. Yep, play around my Stifle. So Rack. Okay, Island is good. I think we get in there for 2. I really doubt they have Vendetta or something like that against the Psychatog deck, so I don't think they have any removal for Factory besides Wasteland. Duress. Opponent has been drawing very nicely, and they're drawing exactly what they want to be drawing. Flashing back Therapy. Cool. We're gonna bounce this because sure. The nice thing is that we can draw a Gush here and then we're cooking. But yeah, we're definitely not in good shape here. And now we have a lot of dead draws. Tide is a dead draw. AK is nice. No AKs in the graveyard right now, so not really any reason to cantrip here, I don't think. Curse Crawl. Sure. Now we take 2. Going to swing with Factory again. Not gonna play the land to protect a little bit against the rack. But now they get to start using Curse Crawl, which is pretty annoying. It's a Parallax Tide. Then we just pass the turn. Cycle AK on end step. They have a 50-50 shot there. Dark Ritual, which is what they named, by the way. Now they have 3 cards. Interesting. They just let it go. Okay, let's play my island here. I think I'm going to pass the turn. And I'm gonna try to combo on the same turn. Again, they named Dark Ritual. So I don't know if they have multiple Dark Rituals or if they just named the same one. Yeah, that sucks. Actually, that sucks a lot. That sucks a heck of a lot. Take 1. That's a Tog. Oh my god. It's brutal. I guess I should have played the Tide last turn. Is that even right? There's no way that's right. Opponent uses Dark Rit just to activate Curse Scroll. That's the Dark Ritual life. Yep, they had another ritual in hand. 1. Let's think about this. We're in an interesting spot here. Because I can use Tide on my upkeep to reset my mana. So I guess I'm gonna do that. Upkeep, float a mana, exile this. We're gonna exile 4 lands. And now hold control, target that one, target that one, target that one, target the other one. Chain of Vapor, my Parallax Tide. And now the Curse Scroll basically becomes irrelevant. And I could bounce the rack by sacking a land, but I don't think I can afford to do that. We're gonna take 1 from the rack, and then we have the Factory to cover the little rat. The problem is any land is a big problem. We know my opponent has Dark Ritual in hand, but then if we sack a land and my opponent top decks any Black Swords, then we're in really bad shape. So I think I'm gonna say no to sacrificing a land. Do we have to? No, I need to be able to cast Factor Fiction, I think. We're just gonna let it go. Take 1, play an island, get an island, pass the turn. The problem is now if my opponent finds a swamp, I'm dead to the Dark Ritual, because they can just activate Curse Scroll. But any turn that goes by, obviously, things get better for me. It's an AK, so let's draw 2. Okay, things are starting to look up, but I don't have that much time. Yep, there we go, I'm dead. I guess they can whiff, because they're forced to do this, and if they have 2 different cards, it's a 50-50 chance that they win. So this is actually kind of exciting. 50-50. Ah, they have 2 Dark Rituals. That sucks. Man, if we had a counterspell here, how sexy would that be? Gonna activate the land in response, generate confusion. But yeah, we're dead. Alright, this deck's not working out. This deck's not. Here we are for the 4th round. I think I like this one quite a bit. But well, I have liked plenty of hands we have drawn, and they have not worked out. Okay, so we can fetch and like portent on 1. Tog, AK, I think these are cool. Let's put AK last, and let's see what we got. Oh, I stack them exactly in the opposite order. Awesome. Oh, that's very funny. Basic Island, Flooded Strand. There's a Tog. Find the Delta like an absolute boss. Send the turn back. Here, I would definitely stifle this Flooded Strand in a heartbeat. City of Brass. hell are we up against? Quirion Dryad. So we leak that. Suspect we are against Gat, I guess. Well, very sad that I wasted a mana leak on Quirion Dryad now. I could have cycled AK main phase, but my opponent's probably playing Armageddon. This one is definitely going to resolve. So we're going to cycle AK on end step, looking for a land. Excellent. Play my land, send the turn back. Do I want to smother now, actually? I think I can actually smother now. And now we stifle planes. Maybe I wasn't even supposed to do that there, and I could have just hung out. White is going to be Melee Mage, I suspect. Armageddon. Okay. We know they have a... what's his name on top? In hand, the City of Brass. It's not a free Armageddon for my opponent, though. City of Brass. Now we have Gosh. Would love to find one more land. Finding one more land would be extremely exciting. Then step Fire. Tap my land. I think I'm going to counterspell this, just because I want to use my mana. My cards, I guess. Quirion Dryad, sure. Bounce that one later. I guess I Gosh. It's not looking good though, but I really need to find the black source here. Okay, Powder Keg. It's an answer. That's cool. We're chilling, we're chilling. I like that this also blanks the Melee Mage. Opponent's taking some damage over there. Disenchant. I think I'm just going to bounce my own keg and replay it this turn. Down to 17. I suspect my opponent has some bad cards in hand right now, like Source of Plowshares kind of cards. Chain of Vapor. Very interesting. An AK on end step. After they swing for 2. Would it be an AK for 3 notably? Would love for it to resolve because we need to find the land. But even if it doesn't resolve, we still have plenty of card advantage in hand. What to do here? 4 cards in hand. I'm going to portent myself to begin with. See if I have like some counter magic in here. No. But I do like these cards, I think. So we're just going to keep these on top. We're not going to shuffle. This also protects me from another Geddon, which I like. But having no counter spells, not super stoked about. This does mean though that I get to just like throw away Parallax Tide next turn with impunity. I'm gonna take 2. Who's gonna effectively time walk my opponent because they're not gonna be able to play Melee Mages. I could even like take 1 more turn off actually. Yeah, let's do that. Keep this at 2 and let's play a Tithe. This one they have to counter, which is fine. Send the turn back. I think we're gonna take 3 more just to give us the flexibility. And it's not playing lands, which I find interesting. Another factory. Play the other factory and we're gonna say go. I think I'm interested in using this Factor Fiction on end step to see what I find again. I'm looking for Duress. Once I have Duress, I think we're gonna be in good shape. Yay! So now we're cooking. Choose this pile. Thank you. And now we should be good to go. I guess we're gonna have to watch out for Fire and Ice, but okay, Counterspell pretty much seals the deal here. So the rest to clear the way. Yeah, this is very, very straightforward. So take the Counterspell. They can't even Gush, unfortunately for them. Play Tithe. Get rid of all the lands. And Chain of Vapor. They can cast Gush here and we Force Spike, which is very nice. I guess maybe I just let the Gush resolve. And they Force Spike whatever they draw. Nah, I think I Force Spike. They knew about the Force Spike. So bounce the chain. Let's pop this right now. And now we have perfect information. And opponent scoops. So we're playing against, I guess, budget Gro-a-Tog. They want Duress, and they want the Smother, and I think that's it. Cut the foil. Powder Keg looks very nice against my opponent's mono 2-drop deck. Parallax Tide seems to be the card here. Mana Leak? Definitely don't want foil, but after that, what else? Force Spike seems actually quite decent. I think I like it better than Mana Leak. Maybe because I'm on the draw, it shouldn't be like that. And on the play, I bring back in the Force Spike. It's interesting to think about. Nice hand. Very nice hand. Turn 1 Portent. One of the strongest lines in the format, as usual. Turn 1 Basic Island. Amazing turn 1 play. Okay, we draw a Gush, which is not bad when our opponent's trying to get on us. These hands are great. All of these cards are fantastic. Let's keep them all. See what my opponent's got. Quirion Dryad. Okay. Factor Fiction. There's the other land. I think I want to pass the turn here. Probably cycle AK one instead. Portent. I mean, if they tap too low, we can get them. Cycle AK here on end step. There's the river. Another Portent. And we're going to Portent first because we may want to shuffle depending on what we see on top. Stifle. Island. think I like this actually. So I want to draw the Stifle, but I don't think I want to draw the islands. So I'm going to, or at least I want to give myself the option to draw the islands. So now we're going to pick up the Stifle. Oh, I misclicked. I meant to stifle that. Opponent opts. Gonna let that hit. I guess on end step I'm going to chain. There's some mocks. Ginsidium Brass. Let's go with a swamp. I guess I'm gonna attempt to smother here. Yeah, let's smother. So if this eats a counter spell, there it is. Now we untap, play another island. I think we have one more turn. We can take a hit. 4th on end step, take 5, then 4th on end step, and prepare to set up a big turn for the upcoming turn. Opponent kinda has to respect the Factor Fiction. They lost to his previous game. Premodern Dryad, number 2. Okay, pivot. I guess I have to counter this one, which means I'm gonna bounce here on end step. It's pretty cute that we get to stifle the draw trigger. Kind of want to, because we're pretty far ahead. Opponent chooses not to shuffle. Bounce Premodern Dryad on end step, untap, stifle the draw trigger. It's a nice pickup. And now I guess I Factor Fiction on their upkeep. Oh no, this actually opens me to... I guess it's fine, because we have Gush. I was gonna say this opens me to Geddon, but if they Geddon, then can't really do anything. Here we're taking the upper pile. This is how my opponent wants to split. These duresses are gonna be dead very quickly. Yeah, okay, here I'm gonna take the second pile. We already have Gush, so we don't need the extra card advantage. Call of the Herd. That's definitely interesting. So they Gush. Alright. Not bad. Not bad at all. We need to find the Psychatog here. AK. Let's lead on AK. Again, I'm looking for Tog. Chain of Vapor. It's not bad. Play my land. Play the rest. Let's see what my opponent's got. Wow, those are problematic cards for me. Smother Premodern Dryad right now. Then the turn back. It's actually both of my smothers, by the way. We're gonna have to chain the elephant. Would love to find Powder Keg. Powder Keg would be quite good here. Opponent goes for Mage. Name Parallax Tide. Mage into Tog. Okay. One unknown in hand for opponent. Important myself. Looking for Psychatog. Chain of Vapor, Force Spike. Yeah, none of those work. Any order and shuffle. Gonna have to Gush right now. And we draw some blanks. Duress. And I guess we are dead on board here. Have to find Chain of Vapor off of this. Yeah, I'm just dead. Game 3. Call of the Herd makes me one for X Infernus actually. Maybe one less Tide. And call it a day. Cool hand. Keep. I think I'm gonna portent on 1. If my opponent has like a nice starting hand with like turn 1 melee mage or something, sucks, but opponent chooses to keep 7. I don't see any lands in there, so we're gonna shuffle. Still no lands. Main phase shuffle. Good. Portent. This fun interactive magic right here, that's what this is. Opponent chose to not shuffle notably. Island is great. Allows me to portent again. That may be a couple too many islands, but I think... No, I think this is one island. Yeah, this is fine. Let's go island, portent, island, no shuffle. I definitely want one more land. Very much prefer for that to be a black source, but... Mox Diamond. Sure. It's a Premodern Dryad. Do I care about that? I think I'd rather bounce the Mox here. I think I'm gonna bounce the Mox. And I'm doing it now. This actually may be wrong, because now my opponent can just go... They have another land, they can play the Mox again. Yeah, and I actually gave them mana. Yeah, this was wrong. So my idea was, I'm thinking, oh, I can just like go ahead and like prevent the Dryad trigger if they have a response, but I don't like these cards. So any order, shuffle. Yeah, that's a pretty bad mistake. In fact, I knew they had this island. Doesn't look like they're gonna be able to take advantage of it, but there's another chain. Black source is what we're looking for here. Tog. Oh, this is juicy Force Spike. Very juicy Force Spike. 3. Counter spell. No attacks. Pretty nice for me actually. Yeah, I'll play this island. Opponent currently has no cantrips. Meddling Mage. I'm gonna chain in response, because this mage is actually covered by the Mishra's Factory. Named Smother. Okay, it's a nice one. Can I afford to play it though? So they have this stupid Mox Diamond here. I think I have to. If they have an all, this would be brutal, but there goes that. Now we have to dodge a land. Okay, so this looks good. Another counter spell is nice. So now we're looking kind of okay. Sure. Sleight of hand resolves. Because they can't really find lands, right? That's the nice thing about the situation. We'd love to see a Factor Fiction. AK. That's fine. I'm hoping to have my opponent go to discard here. And they're not attacking, which obviously means they don't have Plow. Underground River. So now they go to discard, which is good. Discarded Quirion Dryad. Interesting. So we're going to play the Powder Keg. Could blow it out on 1, but I think I want to actually save it for 2. Yeah, that one's good. Gonna die to the Powder Keg. Fading, Stifle, put a counter. It's a nice draw. Alright, this one lines up beautifully here. Could have Plow into counter spell. I think this is fine. 3 mana, Call of the Herd. Does that matter? I don't think so. I don't think that one matters. Kind of want more Powder Kegs in this deck. That's a nice draw. So let's do res. See what my opponent's cooking with. Get on Gush. Yeah, we're gonna take this Gush. Send the turn back. Play out the island. Flashback call, that's fine. It's the turn. Factor Fiction, end step. And this one's very juicy. There's this AK, there's this Gush, which kind of makes... yeah, we're gonna take the pile. Kills them. So, Furnace is a funny one. Do I even care about duressing here? Yeah, I guess I do. So we're gonna crack Keg first. My opponent's at 18. This is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, this is super lethal. So my opponent needs to chump block here. I'm gonna do some exiling. And there you go. So Call of the Herd ended up being some chump blockers. So I guess I'm taking this counter spell here. Send the turn back. Portent. Yeah, that's fine. City. And I guess I want to actually cast this Gush by bouncing. Off is very nice. This is cool because I don't really need to do anything. Now we get to basically eat up the elephant token. Send the turn back. Then we get to Foff on end step. Yeah, that's fine. Another Mox is gonna take one of the islands. So their hand is... oh wow, a little Mox flooded over there. A little bit Mox flooded. Counter this Gaddon. We know one of her cards is Disenchant, so we can't actually do this. Here I'm just gonna Foff on end step. It opens my Tog to get plowed, but I mean, I'm gonna find an answer. Gonna find a way to kill them from here. Alright, they scoop it. There we go. That was fun. Scoreboard. 1 and 3 now. Alright, folks, let's end on a high note. Hell yeah, look at this hand. Beautiful. Let's end on a high note here. On the play. Exactly where you want to be with having Force Spike in your deck. Absolutely lovely. Opponent keeps 7. Land go. Strongest play in Magic the Gathering. Island go. Busted. Opponent leading on Fiendhorn Elves. Good, because these Force Spikes were gonna get dead very, very quickly. 2 War Against. Where I would Symbiote resolves. Untap. Another counter spell. Imagine we're playing against Elves. I will take 1. And then tap, they do nothing, huh? Very interesting. No, they can't even attack. It's hilarious. Dunny's Acolyte. I'm gonna pass on that one. That's how they get out of the situation. I love that they still can't attack because of the factory. Pretty funny. Oh, they did have the land. Okay. This is interesting. So I guess that I Gush first. It's a nice draw. I'm just gonna fetch a swamp here. Play a Tide. Take the fetch. Oh, it resolved. Interesting. Okay. So I guess we're just going to... oh, no, I was not expecting that to work out like that. Weird. Yeah, I guess that they would end up with the land anyway. So I'm just going to... let's do it on their upkeep. No, it's better to do it right now. So I guess I want to duress them. 1, 2, 3... chain. Now the swamp comes back. And I'm going to duress them. Oh, why? I thought I was in my second main phase. That's very awkward. I guess I misclicked at one point and I went over to my end step instead of my second main phase. It's unfortunate. It's pretty sad for me. And we're probably still in okay shape here. We have Cradle. Okay, so I guess I'm going to prioritize killing this symbiote before doing anything else, just to make sure they don't have mana from Cradle. They shuffle. I'm gonna see what they play here, and we can combo again, which is very nice. They do nothing. Fascinating. Okay. Well, I think I just tie them again then. 1, 2, 3, chain. So now we get back our island and our swamp so that I can cycle AK on end step. Maybe I should have just gotten blue. Opponent packs it. And now, I mean, that's our worst, by the way, because now we get to bring in all the heavy hitters. I don't know if I want all the annuls. I definitely want some of them. First Micas can go. I don't think I want to do Reses. Powder Keg is so awkward. We have our removal. We have Furnace, which is awesome. I think I'm gonna cut one of the tides. Not super sold on Psychatog. Maybe only 2 annuls. Cut Mana Leak. Maybe cut Foil. I guess Foil's okay. Say one of is probably fine. I'm not super high on Powder Keg, but maybe it's just okay. Cut a Stifle, I guess, since we cut 2 tides. Yeah, having 2 tides sucks, but yeah, I think I'm gonna mulligan. We have Plague, we have, yeah, this hand looks better to me. Bottom the foil, I think. Land go, really? Okay, does this mean they have survival? Yeah, and I don't have the annul. Okay, now what? I think I need to dig, and I need to find Plague here. Hey, look at that. So I need to find the black source now? Man, how can I be this good? How can anybody be this good, huh? Best mulligan decision ever. I think we may be able to keep this survival under control. I don't want to call it too early, but at least I do think that we have the tools, thanks to this Engineered Plague. Powder Keg gets an answer to the Vigilante. As long as my opponent's mana doesn't get out of hand, we're going to be good. Naturalize would be awkward. Get that Swamp, get that Plague. Or needs to flow to mana right now before their priest is gone forever. I guess not forever, they can get it back with Genesis. Oh, okay. Guess they don't have a creature in hand? Could that be possible? No way. Opponent's hitting those land drops and they pass the turn. Here's a Keg. They did have the Naturalize, but still no mana. I don't think there's many things that I'm going to counterspell here. Maybe just Octavia Orangutan if they have that somehow. A priest? Maybe I counter a priest? Nothing. They just don't have a creature. Multani Sarcolite. Yeah, this one I'm gonna counter, I think. Gives them mana for Cradle, allows them to like draw new cards. I'm gonna say yes, uptick this. It's a nice draw. Let's AK to start. It's a nice pickup. Now we gush. Replay my land. And it's Portland here. Looking for Parallax Tide at this point. Psychatog is an interesting one. I think I'll take this. So draw the Tog and the Factory. No shuffle. Send the turn here. I'm very surprised they did not go for Squee. And I don't want to expose the Furnace because I don't think it really matters. The only card that matters here is to exile Squee. So I want to sandbag this Furnace. There's a Llanowar. I suspect now they're going to get Squee in order to start to snowball. And then I'm going to take the Squee, which means I'm not going to be able to take the Anger. That's exactly what they do. But right now, this survival is limited by my opponent's ability to just do anything. To just like have mana in play. So I think I need to exploit that. Go for Anger, but now they can't cast whatever they get. Maybe Maya Granger. Sure. I can just bounce it here. The Chain of Vapor. And bounce my Powder Keg, but no, I think I need this to combo with the Tide. So let's play a fetch land. Fetch here. I guess I can find an null, potentially. But again, priority is to get this Squee. Here's a Furnace. Because right now, if they go for the Granger, they are not going to be able to do more stuff, right? So get rid of Squee. Another Plague is fantastic. So do a survival here. I don't think I do. I think I just chill. So now my opponent's creatures are going to be hasty. Question will be whether that matters or not. Take 2, untap. We're going to still keep these on 1, I think. Now we're going to play the Factory. I think this is the turn where we land Psychatog. And we ask my opponent the question, what are you going to do now? Opponent can go get the Range Hermit here, which would be a problem. But I don't think enough of a problem. Because now they need to pay for upkeep here. I'm going to put on top of my opponent's upkeep. I'm going to make them make the choice. They don't pay for upkeep. Okay, that's fine. Now you see how different it is when my opponent doesn't have Squee. Because they don't have an infinite amount of creatures. They actually need to care for everyone. Like, the survival is contained by this Phyrexian Furnace. In fact, is this a chump blocker? Real question here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then pitches Llanowar Elf. Let's see what they get. This is 7 with the draw step. And then Symbiote. Sure. That one's gonna die with the Powder Keg. I think I pop this now. to force my opponent to make the choice. They don't. Okay. So I think this may just be lethal. This is 10, 5. Gush is 2 islands plus 2 cards, so that's 6.5 plus Factor Fiction, which is 5. Like, so I get the 3 pile, so that's 3 plus the actual FOF plus 2 more. I think this is actually, I'm threatening lethal here. My opponent doesn't know it because they don't know that I have Gush and Factor Fiction in hand, but I have super lethal. I'm gonna swing. I'm gonna see my opponent blocks. This is pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. They don't block. Alright, so my opponent said. Doesn't matter how they split it, I'm gonna take a 3 pile. Take this, then Gush. Now we start to, we got there. And that is a lethal Psychatog, folks. Good old 2-3. I love to see it. So there you have it, folks. After a very much non-spectacular 0-3 start, we salvaged a 2-3 after we got some lucky breaks. Okay, so what did I like about this deck and what did I not like? Tog was actually reasonable. I did enjoy having it as a win condition. It proved a little bit awkward against the mono black deck though. Like with a wrench kind of throws a wrench, wrench, you get it? In the Tog's game plan. So I'm a little bit skeptical about that. Like I kind of feel like I want more removal somehow, but I don't think I really have the room to make that happen because we have so many slots devoted to Stifle and like Chain of Vapor and stuff. I feel like I'm pulling different directions basically. If I wanted to go full on Tog, then I would have room to like play some more removal, maybe some more cantrips, stuff like that. But maybe there's a way that I can like just play more of a mono blue control style deck, but without Psychatogs. Then I'm basically just splashing for duress and maybe like Smother and stuff like that. But at that point, is that even worth it? Because I would be basically splashing for duresses and engineered plagues and everything else. At that point, am I really better than mono blue Dreadnought? The mono blue Tide, I mean. I feel like maybe this list or like this concept is just dead on arrival a little bit. So I'm going to continue thinking about it, but I'm not sold. It definitely needs much more work, and what I have so far does not quite satisfy me, I don't think. I do love Tog, so whether I choose to go one way or I go full on Psychatog or something like that, I'm probably going to be continuing to play Psychatog. I enjoy the deck a lot, but I don't think that Tide covers what I want it to do, which is a little bit awkward. I feel like it works better in like Gro-a-Tog even, where, you know, instead of using Tithe, we just have Armageddon straight up. So Psychatog plus Armageddon is kind of nice, but then that would require splashing white, which is a whole nother ordeal. So definitely interesting to think about. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button on the way out, and I'll see you in the next Premodern video. Take care and bye-bye.